And I'm live. Are you ready for some football? Let's go. Season starting this week. It is Monday, Labor Day. Got the day off from the 9 to 5. Doing a little relaxing and starting off this NFL commentary season, covering the season all the way to the Super Bowl, playoffs, doing predictions, everything. So this is the kickoff show and jump right into it. So basically, I'm going to start off. We're going to do the divisions. Who do I think is going to win the division? So those are going to be obviously playoff contenders. It's going to be some of my playoff picks. Who's winning these divisions are going to be playoffs. Then you have a couple wild cards. I think they're doing three wild cards. So we'll talk about some wild cards. We will get the playoff bracket up, and we're doing the predictions. And man, it's just I'm ready to jump right into it. So let's go. I'm gonna start off in the South because I am in Florida, and well, we're it's the South. You know, some people like to say it's like the East Coast, but South Florida guy. So I'm just gonna start off in the South. Then we'll do the North. Then we'll do the East and the West. We'll wrap this up. Just because the Kansas City Chiefs won the NFL Super Bowl last Super Bowl. So we'll just wrap it up right there with the AFC West. So starting us off, we have the NFC South. Uh, Man, really, since Tom Brady left the Bucks, you have the Saints kind of like what was going on with the Saints with their quarterback thing. Um, Panthers, man, they had that one run, they played in Denver in the Super Bowl, but Panthers haven't been doing much, and then the Falcons, they just they just can't get right. So really, who I think is going to win this NFC South is the Saints. Just go ahead and kind of look at um, this schedule real quick and just kind of run. I just think the Saints this- they've had a stout defense the last few years. I think they got a better defense. Um, and they got Jimmy Garoppolo over here playing quarterback, so we'll see what he can do. But they got some weapons, receiver, and they've always had a good running game. So just kind of looking at the schedule, they got the Titans at home, and then man, week 2 right here going with NFC. South matchup right here versus Panthers. I think they'll be able to get the Panthers. Packers is going to be interesting. The Bucks, then the next week, um, I think they'll be able to beat the Bucks. Uh, the Patriots in New England on October 8th. That could be that'll be interesting. Texans really haven't been doing much, so I think they'll be able to get that one. They'll have Jaguars hosting Jags, so I think they'll be able to get that one. The Colts, I think they'll be able to beat the Colts, the Bears, and then they got the Vikings November 12th. That'll be a tough one to get versus the Vikings, and you got to play the Falcons. I think they can get the Falcons. The Lions, we'll see. This is right here in December, so we'll see what they can do versus the Lions, and then they got the Panthers. I think they'll be able to beat all their division games. Really, I don't really. I think maybe the Bucks right here, New Year's Eve, they might give a tough one, but I don't. I think the Saints are going to win all of their division games. Uh, Giants versus Saints. We'll kind of see how that goes, but I think they'll be able to win that at home. Saints versus Rams. I don't really think the Rams are doing anything. So, man, don't be surprised if the Saints really maybe only lose like 4 or 5 games this season. I see. a couple of interesting matchups right here. This could be interesting, Titans versus Saints, but it's at home, so I think the Saints will be good, week 1. Then they gotta play the Packers and the Patriots, but then, like I said, going through some of these other games, um, I think they'll be able to win versus all of their, other NFC South, divisional opponents, so I don't really see I don't think the Panthers are really gonna win much, man. Let's look, Panthers in Atlanta. Atlanta's probably gonna get that, and they're gonna lose versus the Saints. Then you gotta play in Seattle. Then you gotta host the Vikings. Sheesh, I don't think they're gonna win one until October. The Lions, you gotta be in Detroit versus the Lions. Um, Coming down to Miami. Texans, they might be able to get that. I'm seeing maybe one win versus the Texans, but man, the Colts, we'll see about that. They might be able to get Colts, the Bears. Um, Bears might be able to get them at home. So it's going to be tough. Cowboys, Titans. You got to play they got to play the Bucks. Bucks probably get that at home. Saints, you're going to get that. So then Packers right here, Christmas Eve. We'll see kind of what happens with the Packers, but I don't really see too many wins for the Panthers. Kind of same story right here with the Falcons and the Bucks. I don't really see Falcons or Bucks winning too many games either. Falcons. Somebody's got to win that one, so I'm good for that. Like I said, Falcons at home, but then they got the Pack and the Lions. So those are two tough games. Uh, I mean, Jacksonville versus the Jags. That's always going to be an interesting game. They might get the Texans game though. Commanders. We never really know with the Commanders, but they play tough out of the East. Um, I don't think they'll win. At the Bucks, but it's a toss up. You got to play in Tennessee in October, so then they got the Vikings. I just don't really see a lot of wins right here for the Falcons, unless it's versus the Panthers or maybe one of these home games like the Bucks at home or man, I wouldn't pick Commanders in Atlanta. Um, or I would pick a Commanders in Atlanta. Texans in Atlanta, they might be able to get that one, but hosting Green Bay week 2, that's going to be a tough one. So I think the Saints, they're going to win this division for sure. I think they're going to have, like I said, 5 losses, man, maybe. So let's just go run it right over here to the AFC South. Man, it's going to be one of those scenarios right here, Titans and Jags. Uh, could it be the Titans division to lose again and the Jags to sneak in there? Man, it's going to be real interesting right here. Um, See what the Colts can do. Also, um, with their running back uh, that's holding out. So yeah, they see you got them. They got James Robinson over here working out. So they're going to try to get a running back situated. Um, but man, the Colts, I don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Um, so that's that, man. I mean, I feel like I now I have to figure out who the Colts starting QB is going to be. I'll go right over here, quarterback. Anthony Richardson. All right, let's see what they got, man. This could be an interesting one, but um, they're not gonna. I don't think the Jags and the Titans. They're veteran teams. The Jags got a that playoff win last season. That was something. Um, but they got a decent quarterback. We'll see if he can hold down on the interceptions. The Tennessee, they play tough, a good running game. So it's going to be interesting between these two. I'm going to go with Florida. I'm not dodging the question. I'm picking the Jags to win the AFC South. I got to pick them, so I'm going Jags, AFC South. So my winners of the South are the Saints and the Jags. So let's go over here to the North. We got NFC North. A lot of talk about the Lions. Uh, I want to see it to believe it. Right now, Vikings really have been regular season. I think they're gonna get this division. The Bears are kind of erratic. We don't really know what we're gonna get out of the Packers. So I'm a see it to believe it kind of guy. I think Vikings will be able to get the division. Um, we've got some interesting matchups. We already kind of talked about them when we were talking about the South. So I think the Vikings will get that versus the Bucks, but they got to play the Eagles. So that's going to be interesting. 14 Thursday night football. Chargers hosting. They're going to be in Minnesota. See, then I think the Vikings will be able to get that versus the Panthers. Wow, Vikings got to play the Chiefs too. This is going to be a tough schedule for the Vikings. Look at this, 49ers. Hmm, it's going to be interesting. Let's see. I think the whole division is going to have to play the West. It looks like. Let's go right here. Oh, and they got to play the Bengals. Wow, there's going to be some interesting football right here. Then they got the. Well, look at this to end it. The Lions, Packers, Lions. These last three games. Man, this is going to be an interesting season right here for the North. The This NFC North. Wow, I'm looking at this schedule. Could be really interesting. Let's do one loss, two. I'm gonna go 1-1. Um, uh, Chiefs is gonna be tough, but it's in Minnesota. Say like maybe two losses, three or four losses. Yeah, they might be able to get the division. Four losses, maybe five losses. Um, I just don't trust them in the playoffs. They played kind of got lucky, but they won the most games within like one score, a couple points. So I'll see what the Packers do. With Love coming in versus Raiders, the Broncos. Um, Two interesting defenses. Then they got the Vikings and Green Bay, and Packers and Steelers. Um, interesting right here. Huh. Then the Packers they got the Panthers. Yeah, they'll be able to get that, and then versus Buccaneers, they could get that. Um, Chiefs in Green Bay, that's going to be interesting. So, um, really just got to see it, man. I know this Green Bay defense. It was all right. It was stout. So, um, I know they're no slouches, but I'm not hopping on this Lion bandwagon right now. Um, I hear a lot of talk about Detroit, so but I'm not buying it. Just not buying it yet. So I'm going with the Vikings to win the NFC North. Could the Lions get a wild card? I don't know. The NFC is kind of weak right now, so I'm not buying the win the division hype. But I could think about a wild card. Um, pretty sure we got three wild cards, right? Yeah, one, two, yeah. We got three wild cards now because then the number one's got to bye. So really, with three wild cards in the NFC, um, they might be able to pick one up. Really, we'll kind of see, how tough they play, um, how the quarterback is. But man, I don't really want to give too much hope for the Lions. Sticking with the Vikings to win the NFC North. So let's go on to the AFC North. Now, man, can three NFC North teams get to the playoffs? That's the question. Um, is it the Bengals division to lose? Can the Ravens have a healthy Lamar and win the division? That's the question. Like, how healthy are these two teams going to be? The Ravens and the Bengals, man. They are some powerhouses right now, and it really just depends on health. Can Burrows be healthy? We've seen that little leg that he was dealing with. I think they were saying a calf or something. So we'll see. We got the 17 Ravens and Bagels. Man, you starting me off nice, NFL. After this little Texans game, uh, we got Colts Ravens. That could be interesting. Browns, there's divisional games. They're always tough. Wow, then we got Ravens Steelers, back-to-back divisional games. Pretty nice. Ravens in Tennessee. Ooh, man, these can be tough games. And they got to play the Lions, hosting the Lions. Cardinals, they might be able to get that one. I don't think Cardinals going to be doing much, but they got the Seahawks and then Browns and Bagels, another back-to-back divisional games. Then they got to go to LA versus the Chargers. Wow. So they got to play the Bagels, then go to LA versus the Chargers, staying. Oh no, they're going back home and hosting the Rams. Huh. Wow, look at this. So they host this division. This is a rough stretch right here. Look at this. These Browns, they're at home though for these two divisional games. Then they got to go West Coast for the Chargers. Uh, Night game. I want to say that's probably Monday night. Um, Night game in LA. Then they go back home. They might be able to get the Rams. We'll see kind of what the Rams look like. Um, oh man, they were so bad last season. Um, then they got to go to Florida versus the Jags. Flying to Jacksonville, headache. Then they got to go to San Francisco West, and then they got two home games. But right here, these one, two, three, four, five, 6 games right here. Those 6 games, that's a rough stretch. That's a rough month and some change of football. So let's ooh, I gotta play San Fran, man. That's good. That's interesting for the Ravens. Let's look at the stretch for the Bengals. Uh, and well, I got the Bengals up right now. I just don't. The Steelers with Tom with their coach Tom Holland. No, it's not Tom Holland. Now, now I gotta get it up because I feel like I am Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. Oh no. No, I am stuck with the coach. Um, I know somebody's probably yelling at me. Uh, oh my God. Mike Tomlin. Jesus. Tom Holland myself. Dude, that was so funny. Um, I trust the coach, man. I trust Mike Tomlin, Tom Holland. I trust I trust Mike Tomlin, guys. Um, he's never had a losing season. That's all I gotta say. I know they don't got a quarterback. Back to the Bengals. So I want to look at this Bengals schedule. Browns, tough opener versus the Browns. The divisional games are always tough. Then they got the Ravens. Then they got the Rams, hosting the Rams, playing Tennessee. But these are winnable games. Playing the Cardinals. Then they're hosting the Seahawks. These are still winnable games. These the 49ers. That's going to be tough. Bills, it's a tough little back-to-back schedule right there. Texans, and they got the Ravens, Steelers. We got that's interesting. They're on the road versus the Ravens, and they're hosting the Steelers. 8:15 Monday night. Yeah, no, that's a Thursday night game because the Texans is Sunday, 4 days later. The Thursday night game. Huh, nice. Um, yeah, I don't see anything that's like too tough. This Vikings hosting the Vikings. They got KC right here. New New Year's Eve. So I don't see like a too grueling of a schedule. That's what I'm trying to say. I think most of these games are winnable. Could I have a hiccup? Versus Seahawks versus the Bills, maybe, but they're playing at home, so I give I'll give the Bagels the edge at home versus these two kind of teams right here. Hosting the Bagels, hosting the Ravens, you know, uh, they got two games versus the Ravens, one at home, one away. Same with the Steelers, one at home, one away. But you got the Colts at home. You got the Jags. I was just talking about flying into Jacksonville, but you got a home game, then you're flying into Jacksonville home game. So that's not too bad. Two consecutive home games. See, you're hosting the Vikings again. So at the Chiefs right here, New Year's Eve, that's going to be a tough one. Can they have a couple hiccups? Maybe two hiccups. Split a bagel versus the Ravens. So what? We got like three losses on the season. I think that schedule, the schedule for well, thanks. I think the schedule for the Ravens is going to be a little bit tougher than the schedule for the Bengals. Um, trust Mike, so possibly get three AFC North teams in the playoffs. I don't think the Browns going to do much, but they could have a surprise season with their quarterback Watson. We'll see how he does. But they got some weapons too. Cooper, um, Browns had a pretty good running game last year. Two-headed monster at the running backs. So Miles Garrett, probably the most athletic player in the NFL right now. So the Browns are, they're not going to be too much of a pushover. That's what I'm trying to say. So, um, who's going to win the division? The Bengals. Watch out for the Ravens, though. This is tough division. So, we might get three teams out of there. Going on to the East, we got AFC East, the AFC Beast, um, Dolphins. If Tua can stay healthy, they got the Cheetah out there. They got the Waddle out there waddling, doing touchdown dances. They got that bad man in New York. We'll see how this goes. It's tough when you get in a bunch of new players in there. Um, New system with Aaron Rodgers, bringing over Lazard, Cook, good running back Cook. We'll see. I think this Garrett Wilson's a rookie, so Aaron doesn't have. I don't think he has any touchdown passes to a rookie. So we'll see how that goes. And the defense for the Jets was pretty stout last season too. So this AFC beast, I already have two wild cards possibly coming out of the North. Um, so man, who's gonna win this division? This is a tough one. Um, Bills have been kind of falling off. Look at this schedule real quick. Bills in New York, then they got the Raiders, Commanders, hosting the Dolphins. They'll be able to get the Jags, probably be able to get the Giants. In New England's tough, but that's an afternoon game. They should be able to beat the Bucks at home. Bagels, they got hosting the Broncos, the Jets. Ooh, this is that's a stretch right there. Jets, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers. Then two divisional games right here at the end. That's going to be a tough one for the Bills. That home stretch right there at the end. So look at look at this Jets, um, Cowboys, um, Patriots versus the Jets. See, I just don't believe in the Patriots offense right now. Um, Chiefs in New York, Jets versus Denver, Eagles. That's going to be tough. Giants going to be tough in New York. Battle of New York. Um, yeah, this schedule's not. It's really not too bad. Um, I think Jets. It's just so tough picking a new squad to really. I think they'll get in the playoffs, probably a wild card. The the Jets. Um, the Dolphins. It's just like we'll see if they could stay healthy. I just don't believe in the Dolphins um, being healthy. Look at this right here, this stretch. In Philly, hosting New England. Then they got to go to KC. Uh, Raiders can be interesting. Um, I just don't. Man, they got to play the. This is a interesting last three games too. Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. So I just don't trust the Dolphins to really stay healthy. So I'm going with the Bills to win the division and um, Jets to get the wild card. Um, let's move on to the NFC Beasts. Whew, rolling right along. Um, I think the Eagles are going to win this division. Um, I don't think the Cowboys have enough to win the division. They have subpar quarterback play. The Giants going to be interesting. Commanders are going to be interesting, but the Eagles, they're just on a different level. Um, I think they're on another level, even over the Cowboys. Um, can the Cowboys sneak in there, get a wild card? Yeah, I think they'll get a wild card. Um, but I think the Eagles, they they just have all around better team. Um, I just look at the schedule real quick. Maybe Eagles versus Chiefs. That'll be interesting. Hosting the Bills. That'll be interesting. But man, the Eagles can put up some points versus 49ers. That could be interesting. Uh, ooh, in Seattle. So, those are interesting games. But Cowboys, they probably got to play these same kind of teams. Let's look at the Cowboys schedule. And, um, Cowboys can start it off on a hiccup versus Giants. The division teams are tough, man. And then the Jets coming into Dallas. So that could be interesting. We'll see how Aaron Rodgers plays. They'll beat the Cardinals. Patriots. That's going to be an interesting game too. Playing it in um, San Francisco versus 49ers right here, October 8th. That's going to be tough. Playing versus Chargers. I feel like this could be like a shootout game. Chargers can win 35-28. Um, like the Rams, this could be like a hiccup game. Rams could come in there, um, subpar NFL team. These are NFL players. I'm not trying to throw dirt on anybody's name. Um, Cowboys could have a hiccup game, man, and have a hiccup versus the Rams, and then they got to go to the Eagles, and then they could start a losing streak. So you got to play the New York Giants after the Eagles, but then you got the Panthers. They could beat the Panthers. They could beat the Commanders. The Commanders play tough in the division though, and then they got to host the Seahawks. Then they host the Eagles. Then they're going to the Bills. Woo! That's an interesting 3 weeks right there. And coming down to Miami for Christmas Eve. Um, so that could be interesting. And then we don't know with these last 2 weeks right there. How the Lions the Lions went what, 8? They won 8 in a row, 7 in a row. I think 7-1. Um, the last half of the season, so the Lions could be going on a roll right there. That's kind of just how I see it with the schedule with the Cowboys. And then I just don't have any uh Giants quarterback. He's just not that good. And Commanders, Washington, you guys really haven't been doing much. So Eagles, Cowboys coming out of the NFC East. Eagles winning the NFC East. So going on to the West Coast. Now, if the 49ers did not lose 4 quarterbacks, they could have been in the Super Bowl. That defense, the the way that offense is ran, they were down to the third string quarterback, fourth string quarterback, and still making moves. So 49ers definitely coming out of the NFC West. I would like to see the Seahawks. They might be able to get a wild card with the Geno Smith playing good last year, and Seahawks always play well at home. So um, the NFC West, they play tough, but I don't think the Rams are going to be doing much. I don't think the Cardinals are going to win maybe 1 or 2 football games. So 49ers division to lose to the Seahawks. Um, Look at the Seahawks schedule real quick. Whew. Rams hosting the Rams, and they're going to Detroit. Um, playing versus the Bagels. They'll be able to get this Cardinals. They could probably get this Browns at home. Playing versus the Ravens, that'll be interesting. Hosting the Commanders, they should be able to get that. They should be able to go to LA and get a win in LA. Hosting 49ers, this could be a tough little. Ooh, look at this. This could be a tough one right here. 49ers going to um, Seattle. Then they're going to the Cowboys. Then they're going to um, San Fran versus the 49ers. That is a mouthful. Wow. At home versus the 49ers. On the road versus the Cowboys. On the road versus the 49ers. Hosting the Eagles. On the road versus Tennessee. That could be cold Christmas Eve. And yeah, pretty interesting. I think the Seahawks will be able to get into the wild card round. The best of the West, the best in the NFL, the defending Super Bowl champions, Patty half a bill at quarterback, Kansas City Chiefs. I am a Denver Bronco fan, and just seeing KC and Patty half a bill do what they're doing really kind of just upsets me. But it is what it is. Recognizing greatness and what Patty half a bill can do. Oof, man. Look at the schedule though. Playing in New York versus the Jets, playing versus the Vikings, hosting the Lions. Ooh, that can be interesting. Quick pick preview if you make it this far. Picking the Chiefs Thursday. um, I was looking at the schedule. Dolphins in Kansas City. We got Broncos, Chargers, Broncos. Oh, look at this though. You got Jets, Vikings, Broncos, Chargers, Broncos, Dolphins, Eagles. Um, the Raiders are going to be interesting to me too. With Garoppolo. Um, dang, I just realized I got that wrong. That AFC South, NFC South quarterback. I thought Garoppolo was playing for the um, the Saints, but it is it's coming to me. Yeah, I got Google up. I messed up. Car, my bad. I realized I messed up. Car's playing for the Saints. Anyways, um, Garoppolo with the Raiders. So that's going to be interesting. See how long Devontae Adams stays right here, and what for um, the Raiders. Um, this could be interesting though. Raiders always play tough, but man, it is the Chiefs. Going Chiefs. Got to get the number one. Um, you got to get the bye. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Get the bye in the NFC. Then we will have um, the NFC East winner is the Eagles. So then you'll have the 49ers with the number 2 seed with the NFC West, NFC North. Um, you're gonna have the Vikings, and then the NFC South will be the Saints. So then I think NFC, how would I say, NFC East, um, we will have the Cowboys coming off the NFC East. Um, oh, look at this. I would like to see that. The 49ers play the Cowboys for the wild card, right? Then you have um, you'll have the Vikings. You'll have the Vikings hosting um, the ooh, that'd be good. The Vikings hosting the Lions, and then you'll have the Saints hosting. Ooh, who's going to be the third wild card coming out of the NFC? Ooh, let's think about this for a second. So, could the Packers get the third NFC spot? Um, huh. That could be interesting. So, who could get that third NFC spot? Hmm. Interesting. I'm gonna go with the Packers to get that wild card versus the Saints in the NFC South. So now let's think about this AFC. AFC, we have the West, um, KC number one with the bye. Then we'll have the um, AFC East with the Bills. The Bills will get the AFC East. Um, oh, I want to see like Bills versus Ravens. I want the Ravens get that wild card. Then you'll have the Bengals will get the that North spot. Um, ooh, I want to see like the Bengals host the Dolphins, and then the AFC South winner Jags hosting the Jets. That'll be nice. So look, we have a playoff prediction. Super Bowl, early Super Bowl. Um, I'm gonna go with the rematch. KC versus Eagles. Um, Howard KC get it. We'll get it back to back. But my heart really wants the Denver Broncos to win the Super Bowl. Versus the 49ers. That will be my alternative pick. So you got repeat or Denver versus 49ers, just because I am a Denver fan. And I'm throwing the 49ers in there because they're the only other team that's going to come out of the NFC. So that was a lot of NFL preview. Um, oh my God. That's what marriage is being about, guys. I'm gonna make sure the dog gets fed. And football starting Thursday. We'll get a little short tomorrow, Wednesday, quick pick Thursday, and football starting Sunday. Let's go.